Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel which is Explore Yourselves, Banking and General Knowledge etc. Jai Hind. Your daily boost. Tithi, Nakshatra and important anniversaries. A spiritual and historical insight of 11th December 2024 Wednesday. Bengali date 25 অগ্রহায়ণ 1431. As per Benimat of Sil Ponjika, today's Tithi is Shukla Dashami and up to 0058 hours, and after that Shukla Ekadashi and up to 2237 hours, and after that Shukla Dadushi. Today's Nakshatra is Revati Nakshatra and up to 0958 hours, and after that Osini Nakshatra. Today is 346th day of the year. There are then 20 days left in 2024. Today is 50th Wednesday of 2024. Today is Gita Jayanti. Gita Mahotsav, Gita Jayanti, also known as Mokshoda Ekadashi or Motsod Dadoshi, is a Hindu observance that marks the day the Bhagavad Gita dialogue occurred between Arjuna and Krishna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. It is celebrated on Shukla Ekadashi, the 11th day of the waxing moon of the lunar month Margashirsa, December-January of the Hindu calendar. Today is 5161st anniversary of the Gita. Gita Jayanti Day symbolizes the birth of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the sacred text of the Hindus. Today is Mokshoda Ekadashi. Mokshoda Ekadashi, the 11th day of Moksha, is a Hindu holy day which falls on the 11th lunar day, Ekadashi, of the 4th night of the waxing moon in the Hindu month of Mragashirsa, Agrayana, corresponding to November-December. Hindus, particularly Vaishnavas, observe a 24-hour fast in honor of the deity Krishna, an avatar of Vishnu. Mokshoda Ekadashi is an auspicious day dedicated to worship of Vishnu for liberation from sins and to achieve moksha after death. It is celebrated on the same day as Gita Jayanti, the day when Krishna gave the holy sermon of the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, as described in the Hindu epic Mahabharata. The 700-verse Bhagavad Gita told at the beginning of the climactic Mahabharata war between the Pandavas and their cousins, the Kauravas, at Kurukshetra, deals with a variety of Hindu philosophical ideas. Today is Guru Bhayur Ekadashi. Vrishikam Shukla Paksha Ekadashi is known as Guru Bhayur Ekadashi. This Ekadashi is observed at the famous Sri Krishna temple at Guru Bhayur in Kerala. Guru Bhayur Ekadashi is observed according to solar calendar, and because of that it might fall either in Kartik or in Margashirsa month in Hindu lunar calendar. Currently it is observed in month of November or December in English calendar. Today is International Mountain Day. International Mountain Day is celebrated annually on 11th December to create awareness about the importance of mountains to life, to highlight the opportunities and constraints in mountain development, and to build alliances that will bring positive change to mountain peoples and environments around the world. Today is UNICEF Day. UNICEF Day is celebrated on December 11th to commemorate the establishment of the United Nations Children's Fund. UNICEF was created in 1946 to provide emergency food and health care to children and mothers in countries affected by World War II. Today, UNICEF is a humanitarian organization that works to protect the rights of children around the world. UNICEF Day raises awareness about helping children in need. Some ways to show support for UNICEF include wearing something blue, changing your profile picture online, and lighting up landmark buildings blue. Today is World Children's Fund Day. World Children's Fund Day is celebrated on December 11th each year. The day was established by Joseph Lamb, the founder and president of WCF. In 1993, Lamb was born in Hong Kong in 1958 and was inspired to commit to humanitarian relief after meeting Mother Teresa in Kolkata. The United Nations Children's Fund was established on 11 December 1946 to provide emergency food and health care to children and mothers in countries that were devastated by World War II. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Robert Koch, 11 December 1843 to 27th May 1910. Heinrich Hermann Robert Koch was a German physician and microbiologist. As the discoverer of the specific causative agents of deadly infectious diseases, including tuberculosis, cholera, and anthrax, he is regarded as one of the main founders of modern bacteriology. As such, he is popularly nicknamed the father of microbiology with Louis Pasteur, and as the father of medical bacteriology. His discovery of the anthrax bacterium Bacillus anthracis in 1876 is considered as the birth of modern bacteriology. Koch used his discoveries to establish that germs could cause a specific disease and directly provided proofs for the germ theory of diseases, therefore creating the scientific basis of public health, saving millions of lives. For his life's work, Koch is seen as one of the founders of modern medicine. While working as a private physician, Koch developed many innovative techniques in microbiology. He was the first to use the well immersion lens, condenser, and microphotography in microscopy. His invention of the bacterial culture method using agar and glass plates, later developed as the Petri dish by his assistant Julius Richard Petri, made him the first to grow bacteria in the laboratory. In appreciation of his work, he was appointed to government advisor at the Imperial Health Office in 1880. Promoted to a senior executive position, Geheimer Regierungsrat in 1882. Director of Hygienic Institute and Chair, Professor of Hygiene of the Faculty of Medicine at Berlin University in 1885, and the Royal Prussian Institute for Infectious Diseases, later renamed Robert Koch Institute after his death in 1891. The methods of Koch used in bacteriology led to the establishment of a medical concept known as Koch's postulates, four generalized medical principles to ascertain the relationship of pathogens with specific diseases. The concept is still in use in most situations and influences subsequent epidemiological principles such as the Bradford Hill criteria. A major controversy followed when Koch discovered tuberculin as a medication for tuberculosis, which was proven to be ineffective but developed for diagnosis of tuberculosis after his death. For his research on tuberculosis, he received the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 1905. The day he announced the discovery of the tuberculosis bacterium, 24th March 1882, has been observed by the World Health Organization as World Tuberculosis Day every year since 1982. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Max Born, 11 December 1888 to 5th January 1970. Max Born was a German-British theoretical physicist who was instrumental in the development of quantum mechanics. He also made contributions to solid-state physics and optics and supervised the work of a number of notable physicists in the 1920s and 1930s. Born was awarded the 1954 Nobel Prize in Physics for his fundamental research in quantum mechanics, especially in the statistical interpretation of the wave function. Born entered the University of Göttingen in 1904, where he met the three renowned mathematicians Felix Klein, David Hilbert, and Hermann Minkowski. He wrote his PhD thesis on the subject of the stability of elastic wires and tapes, winning the university's philosophy faculty prize. In 1905, he began researching special relativity with Minkowski and subsequently wrote his habilitation thesis on the Thomson model of the atom. A chance meeting with Fritz Haber in Berlin in 1918 led to discussion of how an ionic compound is formed when a metal reacts with a halogen, which is today known as the Born-Haber cycle. In World War I, he was originally placed as a radio operator, but his specialist knowledge led to his being moved to research duties on sound ranging. In 1921, Born returned to Göttingen, where he arranged another chair for his long-time friend and colleague James Franck. Under Born, Göttingen became one of the world's foremost centers for physics. In 1925, Born and Werner Heisenberg formulated the matrix mechanics representation of quantum mechanics. The following year, he formulated the now standard interpretation of the probability density function for in the Schrödinger equation, for which he was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1954. His influence extended far beyond his own research. Max Delbrück, Siegfried Flug, Friedrich Hund, Pascual Jordan, Maria Geoffert Meyer, Lothar Wolfgang Northim, Robert Oppenheimer, and Victor Weisskopf all received their PhD degrees under Born at Göttingen, and his assistants included Enrico Fermi, Werner Heisenberg, Gerhard Herzberg, Friedrich Hund, Wolfgang Pauli, Leon Rosenfeld, Edward Teller, and Eugene Wigner. In January 1933, the Nazi Party came to power in Germany, and Born, who was Jewish, was suspended from his professorship at the University of Göttingen. He emigrated to the United Kingdom, where he took a job at St. John's College, Cambridge, and wrote a popular science book, The Restless Universe, as well as Atomic Physics, which soon became a standard textbook. In October 1936, he became the Tate Professor of Natural Philosophy at the University of Edinburgh, where working with German-born assistants E. Walter Kellerman and Klaus Fuchs, he continued his research into physics. Born became a naturalized British subject on 31st August 1939, one day before World War II broke out in Europe. He remained in Edinburgh until 1952. He retired to Bad Pyrmont in West Germany and died in a hospital in Göttingen on 5th January 1970. Today is death anniversary of Miss M.S. Subbalakshmi, 16 September 1916 to 11 December 2004. Madurai Sanmukha Vidhuvu Subbalakshmi was an Indian Carnatic singer. She was the first musician ever to be awarded the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian honor, the first Indian musician to receive the Raman Magsaysay Award in 1974, and the first Indian to perform at the United Nations General Assembly in 1966. Today is death anniversary of Mr. Ravi Shankar, 7th April 1920 to 11th December 2012. Ravi Shankar was an Indian sitarist and composer. A sitar virtuoso, he became the world's best known expert of North Indian classical music in the second half of the 20th century, and influenced many musicians in India and throughout the world. Shankar was awarded India's highest civilian honor, the Bharat Ratna, in 1999. He is also the father of American singer Norah Jones. Shankar was born to a Bengali family in India and spent his youth as a dancer touring India and Europe with the dance group of his brother Uday Shankar. At age 18, he gave up dancing to pursue a career in music, studying the sitar for 7 years under court musician Alauddin Khan. After finishing his studies in 1944, Shankar worked as a composer, creating the music for the Opus trilogy by Satyajit Ray, and was music director of All India Radio, New Delhi from 1949 to 1956. He was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Original Score for scoring the blockbuster Gandhi 1982. In 1956, Shankar began to tour Europe and the Americas playing Indian classical music and increased its popularity there in the 1960s through teaching, performance, and his association with violinist Yehudi Menuhin and Beatles guitarist George Harrison. His influence on Harrison helped popularize the use of Indian instruments in Western pop music in the latter half of the 1960s. Shankar engaged Western music by writing compositions for sitar and orchestra and toured the world in the 1970s and 1980s. From 1986 to 1992, he served as a nominated member of Rajya Sabha, the upper chamber of the Parliament of India. He continued to perform until the end of his life. He was recipient of numerous prestigious musical accolades, including a Polar Music Prize and the 4 Grammy Awards, including Album of the Year for the concert for Bangladesh in 1973. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Dilip Kumar, 11 December 1922 to 7th July 2021. Dilip Kumar was an Indian actor who worked in Hindi cinema. Credited with pioneering method acting in cinema, he dominated the Indian cinema from the 50s throughout the 60s, being referred to as Abhinay Samrat, Hindi for Emperor of Acting. Kumar holds the record for most wins for the Filmfare Award for Best Actor, 8, which was later equally by Shah Rukh Khan, and was also the inaugural recipient of the award. He holds the most dominant box office record for a star, male or female, in Hindi cinema with over 80% box office successes and several long-standing gross records. In a career spanning over 5 decades, Kumar worked in 57 films in a variety of roles. He debuted as an actor in the film Jor Bhata 1944, produced by Bombay Talkies. Following a series of unsuccessful ventures, he had his first box office hit in Jugnu 1947. Kumar found further success with the romantic drama Andaz 1949, The Swashbuckling and 1952, the social drama Dag 1952, the actioner Insaniyat 1955, the comical Azad 1955, the romantic social Naya Daur 1957, the Noir Mast Mystery Madhumati 1958, the social drama Paigam 1959, the action adventure Kohinoor 1960, the epic historical Mughal Azam 1960, the crime drama Ganga Jamuna 1961, and the comedy drama Ram Aur Sam 1967. All three Andaz and Naya Daur briefly became the highest grossing Indian films up to that point, a feat later achieved by Mughal Azam, which sustained the record for 15 years. The 1970s saw Kumar's career take a downturn, marked by three consecutive commercial failures, namely Dastan 1972, Sagina 1974, and Bairag 1976. Post 1976, he went on a brief hiatus from film performances and returned with the revolutionary drama Kranti 1981, which was the highest grossing Indian film of the year. He continued to play leading roles in films such as Vidhata 1982, Sakti 1982, Karma 1986, and Saudagar 1991. His last on-screen appearance was in the commercially unsuccessful Killa 1998, which saw him in a dual role. Kumar later served as a member of the Rajya Sabha, the upper house of India's parliament, from 2000 to 2006. Kumar's personal life was the subject of much media attention. However, he himself had largely avoided media limelight and endorsements. He was in a long-term relationship with actress and frequent co-star Madhubala that ended after the Naya Daur court case in 1957. He married actress Thaira Banu in 1966 and resided in Bandra, a suburb of Mumbai, until his death in 2021. For his contributions to film, the Government of India awarded him with the Padma Bhushan in 1991 and the Padma Vibhushan in 2015, the country's third and second highest civilian awards respectively. He was also awarded India's highest accolade in the field of cinema, the Dadasaheb Phalke Award in 1994. In 1998, the government of Pakistan conferred Kumar with Nishani-Imtiaz, their highest civilian decoration, making him the only Indian to have received the honor. The house that Kumar grew up in, located in Peshawar, was declared a National Heritage Monument in 2014 by the Pakistani government. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Somoresh Bosu, 11th December 1924 to 12th March 1988. Somoresh Basu was an Indian writer in modern Bengali literature known for his versatility and vast range of themes. He wrote under the pen name Kalkut. Basu was awarded the 1980 Sahitya Academy Award in Bengali by Sahitya Academy, India's National Academy of Letters, for his novel Samba. He won the 1983 Filmfare Awards for Best Story for Namkeen. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Anand Shankar, 11 December 1942 to 26 March 1999. Anand Shankar was an Indian musician, singer and composer whose music blended Western and Eastern musical styles. He was married to dancer and choreographer Tanushree Shankar. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, 11 December 1935 to 31st August 2020. Pranab Kumar Mukherjee was an Indian politician who served as the 13th President of the India from 2012 until 2017. He was the first person from West Bengal to hold the post of President of India. In a political career spanning 5 decades, Mukherjee was a senior leader in the Indian National Congress and occupied several ministerial portfolios in the Government of India. Prior to his election as President, Mukherjee was Finance Minister from 2009 to 2012. He was awarded India's highest civilian honor, the Bharat Ratna, in 2019 by his successor as President Ramnath Kovind. Mukherjee got his break in politics in 1969 when the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi helped him get elected to the Rajya Sabha, the upper house of Parliament of India, on a Congress ticket. Following a meteoric rise, he became one of Gandhi's most trusted lieutenants and the minister in her cabinet in 1973. Mukherjee's service in a number of ministerial capacities culminated in his first stint as Finance Minister of India in 1982 to 84. He was also the leader of the House in Rajya Sabha from 1980 to 1985. Mukherjee was sidelined from Congress during the premiership of Rajiv Gandhi. Mukherjee had viewed himself and not the inexperienced Rajiv as the rightful successor to Indira following her assassination in 1984. Mukherjee lost out in the ensuing power struggle. He formed his own party, the Rashtriya Samajwadi Congress, which merged with Congress in 1989 after reaching a consensus with Rajiv Gandhi. After Rajiv Gandhi's assassination in 1991, Mukherjee's political career was revived when Prime Minister Praveen Narasimha Rao appointed him Planning Commission head in 1991 and Foreign Minister in 1995. Following this, as an elder statesman of Congress, Mukherjee was the principal architect of Sonia Gandhi's ascent to the party's presidency in 1998. When the Congress-led United Progressive Alliance (UPA) came to power in 2004, Mukherjee won a Lok Sabha, the popularly elected lower house of parliament, seat for the first time. From then until his resignation in 2012, he held a number of key cabinet portfolios in Prime Minister Manmohan Singh's government: Defence 2004 to 2006, External Affairs 2006 to 2009, and Finance 2009 to 2012. Apart from heading several groups of ministers, GOMs, and being leader of the House in the Lok Sabha. After securing the UPA's nomination for the country's presidency in July 2012, Mukherjee comfortably defeated P.A. Sangma of the NDA in the 2012 Indian presidential election, winning 70% of the electoral college vote. 2017, Mukherjee decided not to run for re-election and to retire from politics after leaving the presidency due to health complications relating to old age. His term expired on 25th July 2017. He was succeeded as president by Ramnath Kovind. In June 2018, Mukherjee became the first former president of India to address a Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangha event. Today is death anniversary of Mr. Christian Laos Lange, 17 September 1869 to 11 December 1938. Christian Laos Lange was a Norwegian historian, teacher, and political scientist. He was one of the world's foremost exponents of the theory and practice of internationalism. Lange was not closely affiliated with any political party, but he may be described as a socialist intellectual. In 1921, he shared the Nobel Peace Prize with the Swedish Prime Minister, the Social Democrat Hjalmar Branting. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Naguib Mahfouz, 11 December 1911 to 30th August 2006. Naguib Mahfouz Abdelaziz Ibrahim Ahmed Al-Basa was an Egyptian writer who won the 1988 Nobel Prize in Literature. In awarding the prize, the Swedish Academy described him as a writer who, through works rich in nuance, now clear-sightedly realistic, now evocatively ambiguous, has formed an Arabian narrative art that applies to all mankind. Mahfouz is regarded as one of the first contemporary writers in Arabic literature, along with Taha Hussein, to explore themes of existentialism. He is the only Egyptian to win the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1988. He published 35 novels, over 350 short stories, 26 screenplays, hundreds of op-ed columns for Egyptian newspapers, and 7 plays over a 70-year career. From the 1930s until 2004, all of his novels take place in Egypt and has always mentioned the lane which equals the world. His most famous works include the Cairo trilogy and Children of Gabriel. Many of Mahapuru's works have been made into Egyptian and foreign films. No Arab writer exceeds Mahapuz in number of works that have been adapted for cinema and television. While Mahapuru's literature is classified as realist literature, existential themes appear in it. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Alexander Isaievich Solzhenitsyn, 11 December 1918 to 3rd August 2008. Alexander Isaievich Solzhenitsyn was a Russian author and Soviet dissident who helped to raise global awareness of political repression in the Soviet Union, especially the Gulag prison system. He was awarded the 1970 Nobel Prize in Literature for the ethical force with which he has pursued the indispensable traditions of Russian literature. His non-fiction work with the Gulag Archipelago amounted to a head-on challenge to the Soviet state and sold tens of millions of copies. Solzhenitsyn is born into a family that defied the Soviet anti-religious campaign in the 1920s and remained devout members of the Russian Orthodox Church. However, he initially lost his faith in Christianity, became an atheist, and embraced Marxism-Leninism. While serving as a captain in the Red Army during World War II, Solzhenitsyn was arrested by Smersh and sentenced to 8 years in the Gulag and then internal exile for criticizing Soviet leader Joseph Stalin in a private letter. As a result of his experience in prison and the camps, he gradually became a philosophically minded Eastern Orthodox Christian. As a result of the Khrushchev thaw, Solzhenitsyn was released and exonerated. He pursued writing novels about repression in the Soviet Union and his experiences. In 1962, he published his first novel, One Day in the Life of an Ivan Denisovich, an account of Stalinist repressions. With approval from Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev, his last work to be published in the Soviet Union, Nikita Khrushchev. His last work to be published in the Soviet Union was Matryona's Place in 1963. Following the removal of Khrushchev from power, the Soviet authorities attempted to discourage Solzhenitsyn from continuing to write. He continued to work on further novels and their publications to other countries including Cancer World in 1966, in the First Circle in 1968, August 1914 in 1971, and the Gulag Archipelago, which outraged the Soviet authorities in 1973. In 1974, he was stripped of his Soviet citizenship and flown to West Germany. He moved to the United States with his family in 1976 and continued to write there. His Soviet citizenship was restored in 1990. He returned to Russia 4 years later and remained there until his death in 2008. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Paul Greengard, 11 December 1925 to 13th April 2019. Paul Greengard was an American neuroscientist best known for his work on the molecular and cellular function of neurons. In 2000, Greengard, Arvid Carlson, and Eric Kandel were awarded the Nobel Prize for Physiology or Medicine for their discoveries concerning signal transduction in the nervous system. He was Vincent Astor Professor at Rockefeller University and served on the Scientific Advisory Board of the Cure Alzheimer's Fund, as well as the Scientific Council of the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation. He was married to artist Ursula von Redingsvard. Thank you very much for your patience.